All right, so we talked about cards that you have to be picking up right now so you can stay ahead of the curve and not spend a ton of money on those cards. But here are a couple cards that you have to be selling so you're not sitting on cards that lose value gradually. And please like the video if you enjoy me doing these types of things, and also share your thoughts in the comments if you agree or disagree, or if you maybe think there are more cards that people have to be getting rid of. So for the first card, please get rid of your Peddler Rhinos because it's like around 40 euros. And if you're not playing tier, this is an amazing card to just offload. They are probably going to give Power of the Elements a reprint. It's kind of weird that they haven't yet. And now with tier just being on the rise, if the deck tops, Indie is literally tomorrow. So if the deck tops, the prices might go even higher. And if we take a look at them, it's around 41 euros or dollars. I'll have the equivalent on the screen, but like around 41 to 42 euros or dollars that you can just easily get by selling like a playset or something. If you have multiple copies, that's even better. Like I said, they need to give Poet a reprint, and the deck is just so popular right now. Not only because of the Horus cards, because some players actually say that tier without Horus might be even better, but it's this incredible combo deck that has a lot of resiliency to play through things and also doesn't have such a hard time going second, but is able to establish insane boards and multiple disruptions going first. It's also a fan favorite deck for the most part, at least, you know, to those that didn't enjoy tier 0 format, it's kind of whatever, but a lot of people still really like tier, and it's really, really strong and is probably going to be one of the top contenders. So I am certain you're gonna find people that want to acquire the deck, preferably in higher rarities, and those are the people that you can sell to and just wait for a reprint if you're trying to play tier. But Peddler Rhino is definitely the first one on today's list. The next card is going to be XYZ Encore. Now this one is kind of weird because it could actually be put in either category, and by category I mean cards you should be selling and cards you should be picking up, because it's such a strong card to have right now, but it's so expensive. It's literally ridiculous. It has like 2 printings, so they might actually be looking at this card to give it a reprint, and that's why you should be getting rid of it, because if they reprint it, those are literally like 15 euros times 3 that go down the drain if you don't get rid of those cards right now. It is amazing against anything XYZ. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is Purrely, but actually a lot of players are saying that XYZ Encore could be teched to help combat Dweller, and there's other XYZ monsters that you may encounter, especially right now in a diverse meta. And like I said, with only 2 printings, the card is going up and probably won't stop. You can wait if you want, but it feels a little bit risky if they decide to give it a reprint. So you can get rid of it, because I'm sure you're gonna find eager customers trying to pick up those copies so they can have them in their side deck. Now the next one is actually going to be Pot of Prosperity, and this one is around 24 euros, 25, 24 euros, going all the way up to about 30. And mainly it's because in the anniversary collection, like the rarity reprint set in OCG, Pot of Prosperity got a reprint, and it was also announced for the TCG. So now that that set is approaching, of course those cards are going to drop down in value, and we have another card on today's list to talk about that is getting a reprint in there as well. So with Prosperity pretty much tanking, you have to be selling your copies right now so you can get as much value as possible, because the price is going to go even further down. And Prosperity is such an insane card to have, even post the reprint. Like, some of the initial prices, like from the OG set, are still going to probably remain and hold the value. We've seen this happen with, like, you know, Ash and other staples. But still, if you want to get some money right now, you probably can spare like getting rid of the Prosperities and then picking them up later next month, I think, when the anniversary edition actually drops. I'm not certain which date it is, but it is very, very soon. So those would be the cards I would be looking into selling. The price is dropping, which is kind of funny to look at, Prosperity being that sought after and quite expensive for a really long time. But if you still are holding on to the copies, I would just get rid of them and make some money. So moving on to the next card, we have to talk about Abomination's Prison. This card is still holding the value. And I mean, it's pretty obvious, like only 2 printings and they didn't really care about reprinting it. And now that Unchained has support, the card kind of spiked up. It is holding a price of about 20 euros slash dollars, something like that. And they might be looking at giving this card a reprint in one of the upcoming sets if Unchained still like proves itself to be very popular. It just kind of sucks, you know, when cards spike on the secondary market, but we always know this happens, and like it did hold a value of about 10 to 15 euros. So it didn't even spike that hard, or at least right now, there's not that much big of a difference. Or at least right now, there's not that big of a difference from the initial price to this point. But if you have like older copies from when you played Unchained like a couple years back, and if you don't feel like playing it right now, please get rid of it, because they probably will give it a reprint, and it's just free value that you can have. Unchained is still going to be really strong even post Age of Overlord. It just proved itself to be very well established. The only issue is that it doesn't have a favorable tier limit matchup, but we'll see what happens with tier and Unchained moving forward. If more people start to be focused on actually beating tier limits, then it's not gonna be as easy for them to compete. But we still saw that the deck is really strong, and Unchained as well. So as long as there are players playing Unchained, having good results and doing well with the deck, I think it is going to be really popular. It's a very, very, very solid mid-range contender, and you know, I like it. I think it has high chances of still performing well, so please get rid of your Abominations Prison if you feel like you don't have any use for it. So, or for them, however many copies you have. And moving on to the next card, I already said that we're gonna discuss another card from the Rarity collection, and it's gonna be Baronne de Fleur. So with this one getting a reprint, finally, because it got the Maze of Memories reprint, but it didn't really do much for it. If you compare the Legendary Collection to the Maze of Memories, it's pretty much the same price. So with the new reprint, the price is going to drop, which is amazing for everyone trying to play Baronne. But, you know, for you, if you still have the copy, just get rid of it if you don't feel like playing it right now. Realistically, there's not that many decks putting up Baronne right now. So if you personally don't find any use for it right now, just sell it and get it later once the reprint comes. And the last card on today's list is actually going to be Lava Golem. I figured I would include it because to me it just feels like it's a very nice card going second. You're always gonna find, you know, a deck that like puts up two things. That's not very rare. Like you're always gonna find some use for Lava Golem, and it's not that every single deck can play it, but if you can, it is really, really good in your side deck. And why I decided to include it today is, again, because of the alleged reprint in the Anniversary Collection. Not every single card was confirmed yet, but if we look at OCG, it doesn't really make sense why they wouldn't give some of the same reprints to us as well. And Lava Golem is not like 30 euros, it's like 3 to 4. But if we get a reprint, you know, everyone is just gonna pick up a nice looking version for like €1 maybe. It's probably not going to be expensive. So if you have like multiple copies lying around that you're maybe not using, I would suggest getting rid of it because it's free, like 15 to 20 euros that you can get for like a playset of Lava Golem. So I just figured I would include this card so we don't talk about only like insanely expensive things. So if you have like, you know, if you want to make just a tiny bit of money on the side, you can just sell Lava Golems if you want, if you have like additional copies. And you know, it's always great when those reprint sets make very, like I said, very pretty looking versions. Like Megatins always have the Parallel Secret Rares and all that. Like cards actually get good looking reprints and they're fairly cheap as well. So it's not like you're selling your Lava Golem so you can get like commons from the Anniversary Collection. You're still gonna have good looking copies. It's just gonna be a little cheaper. So you might want to get rid of them right now if you want. It is not the most important cards to offload, you know, it is only like 3 to 4 euros, but if you feel like it, or if you maybe for some reason have like a stack of Lava Golems, just, you know, do with my info what you will. But yes, for this video, that's actually going to be it. I only wanted to cover a couple cards that you maybe already have on hand, but if you have any of your own ideas, like I said, please share them in the comments. I know everyone is going to be very grateful and they can make some profit. So like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.